this is Megan from Coolidge Public Library, and today we are going to be making some watercolor bookmarks. So, if you came to the library and picked up one of your kits, it should look like this. And in here we have some instructions, some bookmarks for you to decorate and paint on. We have a little watercolor kit, and we even have a little ball of yarn in case you want to make a tassel like this one to attach to your bookmark. So, let's get started here. The instructions do tell you kind of what to do, all the basics of it, so you can definitely follow that, keep it in mind, but I'm going to explain it all for you right now. So we'll get started. In your kit, you have a few different bookmarks. We have these really cute ones that you can go ahead and put the watercolor on, paint them, even though they already have designs on them. You can just paint in there. If you want a little more guidance, you don't want to make your own design, then you can go ahead and just paint straight on those. They are just like a cardstock, so the paint will not just totally bleed through or anything. And the back is plain, so you could even paint on those too if you want. So you have a few of those. And then we also have some that are just totally blank for you, cardstock, and that way you can make your own design, be totally creative, and have a lot of fun. So I'm going to show you how to make one today, give you a couple ideas, and yeah, but like I said, it's really creative. We want you to be able to just explore, be imaginative, do whatever you want. So don't feel like you have to do exactly what I'm doing, but if you want to or you need an idea, here is just a little bit of info. So first I'll take out all my supplies here, and I'm going to show you a lot of different steps along the way. So you'll start out with it totally blank, and what you're going to do first that I found works really well is painting some water onto the cardstock before you do anything with the actual paints. We'll open that up here. But yeah, you can just put the watercolor straight, or the water straight onto the watercolor and paint, but if you add a little bit of water to the bookmark, it kind of, you know, smears it around a little better and lets the watercolor kind of move around. So that's what I'm going to do first, but I want to caution you, don't put too much, because if you put a lot, it's going to kind of soak it and you're not going to get a lot of pigmented color. So depending on how light or dark you want it, just put some paint. So I'm not going to put too much. And then I'm gonna choose what colors I want to do. And as you can see, I did a couple already. This one I did kind of orangey, yellow tones. This one I did some blues and greens. So this one, I think I'm actually gonna use a lot of my colors and kind of make a rainbow one. So you can just use one color, you can use a couple, whatever you want to do. You can make a pattern, but I'm kind of just making some splotchy, just kind of colors on the bookmark. So I added that water on here, and I gotta be careful or else it will dry. But then you're gonna go ahead and just add a little water to the color you want to use. I'm gonna start off with this red. And I do want to say that you can totally use the little tiny paintbrush that comes with the kit, but I found it to be a little bit small, so I just got a bigger brush. But if you don't have one, you can definitely use that. You can even kind of finger paint it if you want to. And the small brush would be good for small details though. So if you wanted to put polka dots or stripes, anything like that, it would be really good. So, like I said, I'm gonna start with the red. I'm just gonna put a little water on there to get the paint wet. And my bookmark is still a little bit wet here. And I'm just gonna start by brushing on the red. And like I told you, it's pretty light because it is watercolor, but the more you put on, the darker it is, and the less water that you have in the paint, the darker it will be. So we got some red, and then I wanted to kind of make it be a rainbow. So next I'm going to go for some yellow and just kind of mix it. And that is how you can get a lot more colors, obviously, from this little palette, is just mixing them. You can see that's kind of what I did here. I just made an orange one. And then I'll just keep going, so I'll use the yellow to make more of a yellow part. Yellow is my favorite color, so I want to make sure and have that. And then next I'll go for some green, put a little water on there. And it is nice with watercolor because they are so blendable. That's what I really like about watercolor, is that like no one can really mess it up. You can't be bad at doing watercolor because it's just so easy to blend everything. With like acrylic paints, sometimes it can be hard to like make a sunset or something where the like ombre colors all mix together, because the paint is just kind of a little harder to work with. You have to mix the colors really, really well. You have to do it when it's still wet and it dries faster. But watercolor does not dry that fast, or it doesn't dry that fast because it's so watery, but then once it's just sitting here, you're not messing with it, it will dry, obviously. So now I'm going in with some blue. And like I said, it is kind of light, so just know that you can definitely add another coat. That's what I did. I added more coats to each of these, and you can let them dry in between so that it's more of a saturated color, or don't let it dry as much and just keep going. It just depends how dark or light you want yours to be. And this blue is looking darker, so you can tell I didn't add as much water to it, and it's just a darker color. And then I'm gonna go in with the pink. And these are like clearly really cheap watercolor sets, so you can mix the colors and make a little bit of a mess of it and don't feel bad about it because it's just a cheap set here. But of course, you are gonna mix the colors, and here it's gonna be a little messy. And that's okay. We're having fun being messy. So I got my pink, making a little bit of a purple here. This color is lighter, so it's not making as big of an impact. But you're kind of getting a little purple hue there. And another thing is that if you're using this kit and a bigger brush like I am, it's, you know, a small paint section, you know. With your big brush, you just are kind of getting as much as you can. But, you know, it works. So, just kind of adding that on there. And then, if you feel like you want it to be like spread out more, you want it to be a little bit lighter, you can just kind of add some water to it on top. Like if you want to blend a little more, you can definitely do that. It kind of blends it. It's so easy to blend, as you can see. It's really cute. It makes, you know, everything so much easier when you can just blend it easily, like I said. It looks like a total ombre effect, which is a lot of fun. So, and we can even put some water along the outside edge to make it kind of blend along the edges if you want to. Like I said, this is totally your project, so do it however you like. And because of all the water, you might get a little bit of like pieces of paper kind of on there, but I just kind of wipe them off. Yeah. So, and it's watercolor too, so you can just kind of wipe it around, and if you make some little mistake, just kind of wipe it off and it totally works. So, this is where we are right now. I'm gonna add a little more water right here, kind of blend that out a little. And then one fun trick that I really like to do, that I did with both of these, is I really like having these little paint splatters on here. Just these little dots. I think it makes it kind of whimsical and fun. This one I added a whole bunch, and they're like little tiny splatters, and I thought it was really cute. So the way you do that is you just get the color pretty wet, and then you put some on the brush. I'll try to get the red here. And then you're just gonna flick it onto the bookmark. And this is going to create a lot of water, so you have to let it dry, but it looks very cool. And you can do as few or as many as you want. I think they're pretty fun, so I'll probably do quite a few. But I just think it adds a little bit of fun to the bookmark, makes it look kind of, you know, not planned, just like a little messy, kind of what I like. So, and then we'll add that pink, make our purple. And as you can see, some colors mix better than others. I got kind of a grayish purple here, but you know, I'll go with it. So anyway, here's my kind of rainbow bookmark. It's really like impressionistic, just kind of, blended, fun. It's not like a very strict painting thing. And that's kind of what I like with watercolor, is that you can blend it, just make it really easy, and just kind of splash paint on there and it looks nice. So we're gonna let this one dry and you can see the outline of the paint. So luckily it's watercolor, it'll clean up, but it is a little messy, so keep that in mind. So we'll set this just aside here so it can dry, but I have a couple to show you for the next step of the process. So in the end, this is kind of what it's gonna look like. It's gonna have that watercolor, and then it's gonna have like a bookish saying on it. So I made this one earlier and it is totally dry. So I'm gonna write on it and just show you kind of some sayings you can put, some cursive you can add, and yeah, so you can say anything you want. On the directions, there's a few examples on here. There's save my spot, a book is a dream you hold in your hands. And then this one is kind of like the one I already made, just one more chapter. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this one. It says, the book is always better, kind of funny. And that's not always true. I know sometimes the movies are good, but it's a cute saying. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on mine. And I like how it has a mixture of cursive and like just regular lettering. And what you want to think about is what side you want to be the top and what side you want to be the bottom. So I'm going to make this the top of mine, and I'm just going to write the same here. And again, these are totally just examples. You can put anything you like. And I really like calligraphy stuff like this, so I'm gonna kind of fill mine in to make it look like calligraphy. I'm using just like a kind of Sharpie type marker, but it is really thin point. But you can use a little thicker point one. I have like a really big one right here, but I think I'm gonna want it to be thinner, especially for like cursive. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. But it's whatever you like. You can put your name on it. You can, again, put a fun bookish saying. You can put just about anything. I would love to see your guys's ones that you end up making. Definitely post them on Facebook, Instagram, and tag us so we can see what you made, because everyone's is gonna be different and that's what's really fun about it. So, and I'm just kind of copying what they did here because I thought it looked really cute. But you can make yours however you want. I'm focusing here. And I ran out of room for my huge S, so I made a little one. You can just do whatever you want, it's totally fun. There's no right or wrong here. And that's what I love about projects like this, is that everybody's just gonna look great. And, you know, we're just having fun. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and add some of that kind of shading so it looks like calligraphy. I love calligraphy, but I'm not necessarily very good at it. I can do kind of cursive, but calligraphy is definitely an art form. We have some books though here at the library about it, so if you're interested in learning more, you can definitely check one out because it's very pretty. It's really popular right now too. Okay. And just because this is the way we're doing it, know that you can add even more. Like you can add glitter, you can decorate it any which way you want, but it's really just time for you to be creative. And bookmarks are so fun because you can add anything you want. So this is the finished product I have here, and as you can see, I just made this one earlier today, and so it isn't flattened out. But once you put it in your book, it'll be flat, just kind of like this one is. And it's just because the watercolors, because it's water, makes it kind of get bendy, but when you put it in your book, it'll totally flatten out. And then, if you noticed in your bag, you even have some little yarn in here. And don't feel like you have to add anything to the bookmark. It's adorable just the way it is. These are so cute. It's a great bookmark. But I wanted it to be a little more fun. So I added some yarn so we could make fun tassels to add on the edge of our bookmark. So you can stick that out of your book or anything. I just thought it was a little fun. So I'll show you how to make that. It's really easy. You're just gonna go ahead and take your yarn, and I just got my whole hand. I want to do 4 fingers because it's going to be about that size. So you're just going to wrap the yarn around, and you're not going to want to use all of it because you're going to need some at the end to kind of tie it. So let's see how much I need. Just leave a little bit of a tail so that you have some to put up here and to tie it together. Okay, so then you're going to take it off your hand, and I'm just gonna grab part of this, and you're just gonna tie the very top here, keeping all your yarn together as best you can. And make a little knot, and you're just keeping all that yarn together like I said. And then you're going to cut the end, because it's in like a circle right now, so you wrapped it around your hand, and you're just gonna snip it right here, and look, it already looks like a tassel. So you can, oop, I missed one. All right, you can just leave it like that. It's like a cute little tassel, but kind of what I like to do is make it have the little top part here. So you're just gonna grab that other piece of yarn and tie it around, and it just bunches all at the top like that. There's a little kind of ball here because it's all the yarn, so it's really easy. And there you go, there's your tassel. So you can leave it kind of random, or you can go ahead and cut it and make them all even. That's kind of what I did with this one. I made them pretty even on the ends, so I'll probably do that with this one too. And if you want it to be smaller, just wrap it around less fingers and it'll be a little tiny tassel. You can also use less thick yarn if you have any. You can use like thread, or that's a little harder to work with, but you can use thread or just like a really thin yarn. This is kind of just regular yarn that's kind of thick. Okay, so there's your cute little tassel. And then, in order to attach it, I just have a hole punch here. And I'm gonna hole punch the top of my bookmark and tie on my tassel. And I guess the best way to do that, I'm not sure. You can do it any way you want, but it might be to tie these two together here, so it's like a circle. Make sure that's tight, and we're gonna snip it right here, and then just put it through, and then it'll just be an easy little knot on there. And I think these are so cute. They look like little octopus to me, which I love. Octopus are so cute. So there we go. There is the bookmark. And I made a whole mess with my yarn here, but that's okay. Anyway, this is kind of just giving you a taste of what these look like. And this one is still drying, but yeah, I'll probably write another cute saying on that one, add a cute tassel to it. Or, you know, like I said, you don't need a tassel. You can leave it as is. You don't even need to write on it. It's whatever you want to do. And this one I cut it, I made it a smaller bookmark. You can cut these, do whatever your heart desires, and just have fun with it because it's a really cute craft. You can even write on the side, like sideways. I saw one I liked that said currently reading, so I'll probably put that on this one. And yeah, just be creative, have fun, and happy reading, guys. Thanks so much for joining us for this crafty takeout, and look out for us next month. We're gonna have another craft bag for you, and we just love doing all these fun crafts with you. Have a great day, guys. Bye.